Hey, how's it going, guys? I got another video for you, and this time we're going to be looking at the Rank 5 Brawlers Guild. So, there are going to be two people you fight in the first one, Wes and Sunny. If you want to focus on one, I suggest Wes. I'll tell you that in a minute. So, in the back, as you can see, there's these jukebox-looking machines that push out those waves of light. You can dodge them, because not everything shoots at the same time. But honestly, as you can see, I really don't take that much damage from it, and I don't have any cooldown that reduces damage from me. So I never found it a big deal to dodge him. And the reason I say go for Wes first is because he does a spell called Sit Down, which basically roots you. And that's pretty bad for the upcoming effect, the second effect that comes from the jukeboxes. You'll see in a second. So interrupt Sit Down whenever you can, and make sure you try to kill him before Sunny starts counting down. As you can see, he's counting down. Once he does that, the jukeboxes will then shoot those like wave of lights out. Basically, just jump over them, not that big of a deal. Once you kill Wes and you're jumping over the jukebox wave of lights, go ahead, focus down Sunny. All he does is it's lit. It's just a fire spell. Interrupt it, stun him, do whatever you want. It's not that big of a deal. And then as you can see, after a while, the jukeboxes will start shooting the wave of lights out instead of letting them run across the ground. Pretty easy fight. The light doesn't do too much damage, though I don't know about the ones on the ground. So we're going to the second fight, Razor Grin. Now this is a shark that flops around, and he'll take, like, I've seen some people get hit by it and they lose half of the health, others lose 3/4 of the health. So basically it might one-shot you or it'll two-shot you. And it's just a really thin frontal attack in front of his mouth. As you can see, it's not even a full cone. So basically, you just keep going around in a circle and you'll never get hit by it. This is actually one of the easier ones for melee instead of ranged, and there's very few of those. I don't really know how this will work on ranged. Probably a little annoying if you're a spellcaster, but as I'm a DK, it's pretty easy for me. He does have a lot of health, though. As we're getting up in the ranks, you're going to start seeing a lot more health instead of mechanics, and then once we hit to like about 6, you're going to see a lot of health and mechanics. But right now, 5, just as long as you can do a pretty good amount of damage, you should be able to get through rank 5 no problem. I'm keeping in this whole fight just to show you, as I said in the previous videos, that nothing else happens. And if something else has happened to you, it might be a bug. So, to give you a little bit of backstory, I have 865 item level on my DK. Not that high because I switched from my main warrior to my main DK not that long ago. I'm building him up now. And I'm doing like, what, 308,000 DPS? So that should give you an approximation of where you kind of need to be able to kill him. As you can see, I'm running low on time. So 865 is probably the minimum for him. Maybe certain classes can get away with it, but for most, that's probably going to be about the minimum. And as you can see, I got about 13 seconds left and I kill him, so watch out for that. For the next fight, we are going to be killing the Leper Gnome Quintet, and as it suggests, there's going to be 5 of them. So this is something you want a good amount of cleave damage or AoE damage with minimum single target. The only reason you should single target is if one of them is really high in health, the others aren't. As you can see, Wheezy for some reason was super high while the others weren't, just to kind of make sure you even them out and then continue AoEing them down. The only attack they do is Leprous Spew, and it basically inflicts a certain amount of nature damage, and it stacks up to 20 times. You could use something like Divine Shield to clear it. I don't know if Anti-Magic Shell works for DKs, but it's not that hard, and it doesn't really even do that much damage. As you can see, I'm at 19 stacks right now, and my health really isn't dropping at all. And the time doesn't refresh either, so, or I should say once it gets higher up, it doesn't refresh, so it's not that big of a deal. So once you AoE him down, you're done. If you kill one, the other ones don't enrage or anything. It's just basically an AoE/cleave fight. Nothing too crazy. Alright, so this is the hardest one in my opinion out of all the ranks. It took me 3 tries. You know what they say, 3rd time's a charm, right? So as you can see, there's a bunch of lines leading to cannons. If you're standing on a black line, you're safe. Once the black line reaches the cannon, a cannonball shoots out. It will instant kill you, okay? I don't know if Divine Shield will work or not, but it will instant kill you. Also, some of the black lines move a hell of a lot faster than other black lines, so even though you're standing on a long one, it could very quickly become the shortest one. Alright, so now that we know about the mechanics of the cannons, as I said, stay on the black lines, otherwise you're going to get instant killed. Let's go ahead and talk about Black Mage himself. So all he really does is he melees you, but every once in a while he'll do an attack called charge, and that charge is behind you. Alright, that's a problem, because then you have to either turn around, and you can't see the black line of the cannons anymore, so you could end up getting killed, or it could make you try to like run around him in a circle, go through another cannon to get instant kill. So whenever he does charge, kind of walk back a little bit like I do, and then very, very tightly circle around him, or just walk through him, whichever one you want to do, and then make sure you're still paying attention to the cannons. The reason I died so many times on him is basically because I didn't know that the fuses ran at different speeds, and I didn't figure that out until 2 times that I died and I rewatched the video I recorded, so keep that in mind. Other than that, this is one of the ones that I was talking about earlier, where he has a lot of health, and he has a lot of mechanics. This is the final 5th one, so that's kind of why it's there. He has 33,000k, and he has not too many mechanics, but I think the cannons is a pretty big one to watch out for. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys do get through it, and I'll see y'all next time.